Who's going to be first to hear Michael's thunder and it's not coming out of my buns? I cleaned up my hair, folks. I cleaned up my hair. I had to. I thought we were going to get a gully washer of a storm, but it looks like it's one of those teasers again. We really need it. It's been very dry. I didn't even mow today. It's not long, which is rare. This time of the year, this stuff will be 5-6 inches tall, but you can see dry spots. Feels good out here, though. Rascal. Planet G is first in the room and calls me rascal. I took an Epsom salt bath, Planet G, and I just literally felt my whole body just go whomp. I don't realize how hard I push it until I sit in a hot bath. Yeah, you hear that? Sexy thing. I like it better. I was tired of this. That looked really gay. I look more collegian. Wow, I'm doing it live and my texts are blowing up. Thank you. Des Justice, I haven't seen you. What is this? A gnat. A bath pillow. I've never heard of that. Are these fleas? Good grief. Something keeps getting on me. That is a flea. Oh, it's you. I'm like, who is she? Said it. Okay, that makes sense. So you can't get back into your Discord. That sucks. A bath pillow. Wow, I forgot. This is the time of the year those different bugs come out. Those might be the chiggers. That sucks. I'm sorry. When you messaged me, I didn't know that it was you. All right. We're going to go around to the front of the house. Mosquitoes are being torched. Thought it'd be okay out here. Go around the porch. I need to fix this. I need to replace this door. I don't like this hollow door. I want a solid door so I can keep that heat of laundry room out of the hall. Did not do much today. I was very tired. That cold took a lot out of me this week, and I'm feeling better today, but it roared through me like a freight train. Yeah, you can see how dry. It's been dry lately. It's been dry. It's been drier than dry. The bath pillow would be cool. This is my Jamaican neighbor. He was at the flea market. He sells every week. I said, how much you want for all this? Oh, I don't know, man. You make me good offer, then I can just go home. And he laughed. It's so funny. A bath pillow. I did not know they had such a thing. I'm always afraid of falling asleep in the tub. I don't want to slide down and drown. So they can get wet and it doesn't hurt it. It does. It actually has got dry spots in it, man. It's been pretty hot and dry. We didn't get any moisture for a week plus, and it's been hot. Sheepish, how are you? How is sheep-ish? Yes, Tina. Look, Tina. I cleaned up all that flip out off the sides. I kept the length. My hair's wet because I just got out of the bath. Really sheepish. That's too bad. Wow. It's so hot over there. I forgot about that. I never remember the UK being hot like that. The UK used to have winters, deep winters. Scotland. Seems like the world's gone nuts, sheepish. Look what happened in Spain. The heat wave all over the place. Fires in Canada, fires in France. Now they're saying 100,000 immigrants came rolling across Spain the other day, tearing stuff up, burning things. I went to my hairstylist today. She's a conservative, and she said they need to SHOOT every one of them. The Spanish army should be there and drop them. They're being bullies and just bull rushing the border. That's a security issue. Really sheepish. 119, Tina. Wow, is that hot? That is hot. How do you stand that, Tina? You're down there in Phoenix? It's too much heat. I did all this. This whole front was covered white vinyl and had 5 sliding glass door panels across the front, and it had lattice over it. Looked ugly. Green stained lattice. I made that the entryway, and I opened this up and did 2x6s and 2x4s and made it more curb appeal. Oh yeah, that's all you can do. I remember going to Phoenix and what the heck was it? 92 in the summer to go see my folks. Flew into Sky Harbor and went to the parking garage to get my dad's car, and it was triple digits. And I'm like, oh my gosh, just brutal. Coming from Duluth, the Great Lakes, that was hot. Too much heat. In Arizona, that heat is so dry. Problem I had in Arizona is the dry heat dries my nose out. My nose would get so dry in the winter, it was awful. That I did not like. It's too dry. Too dry in Arizona. I loved Arizona, but it's too dry for me. Too dry for my skin. This is too humid. I always go to extremes, man. Look at that clown up in the tree. Squirrel. What makes people move to Phoenix and Vegas and all those places? Yeah, the squirrel's up there. He's got the view of the house, Planet G. Planet G. And if you're Planet G, then what am I? Planet Rascal? Where'd that damn thing go? Squirrel. He's running around up in the trees trying to shred those pine cones. He would sit on my mailbox. Wow, look at that. My face. That's too close. There, that's better. Hi, Paul. He would sit on my mailbox and shred the pine cones, eating them all. Oh, that rain feels good dripping on me. Who's dis, LOL? That's when you did the close-up. Oh, I know. That scares me. I want to see my face on a microscope. Planet G has very well-behaved girls. I never hear them yelling or acting crazy when I talk to her. It's so funny when they look at me to see me and they look like they could be my relatives. Yeah, sheepish. It's been moving around. I thought today, I got up, went to Walmart this morning, and so muggy. And I had this feeling, I thought, if it keeps doing this, it's going to get hot. It's going to build. We're going to have massive thunderstorms, heavy rain. And that didn't come. Boy, that truck rattles bad for a new one. Way too much front end rattles. Oh, grilling burgers. All right, Paul. Burgers need to come here. Grilled burger stops at my house. Do they really plan it? $300. Oh, that's cheap. Shoot, tune-up on my truck is like 600. Plugs, distributor, wires, whatever else they do. Stuff is too much money. $300 is crazy. Feels good out here. I'm not sweating finally. Ah, they're cute kids, gee. So funny to see these little hands come up and their little eyes peeking around. Oh, Paula, you getting any rain down there? Really sheepish. They make you do all that, huh? More bureaucracy. They don't make us do that here. You're on your own here. You got to take care of your car, or your car will just end up on the side of the road. That is cute. No rain. Thank you, Paula. I like it better too. I woke up this morning and I had flip up on. I said, this has got to go. Me ladies were at the hair salon today. It was actually a man's salon. It was a barber shop. Old-fashioned barber shop. I actually went to him when I first moved here. Old school Southern boy. I come in there and he says, so you want a buzz cut? I said, yes, sir. That's right. Everybody need a buzz cut here. And then he got Alzheimer's. And the two ladies took it over after COVID and kept it open. They're very good. They're conservative. We were talking about what happened in Spain, and she's like Planet G. She said they need to just drop them. She said that's crap. She said a military's job is to protect the country. They shouldn't let those people in at all. Sheepish they do. I did, Pogren. They cut the sides off and the bangs a bit. They don't look like a mop head. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. You guys want to see some mushrooms? Colette was talking about my oyster mushrooms. They all grow out of the tree stump. This was one of my oak trees. I'm just letting the weather get to it. Look at that, it's starting to crack. That's good. Guy wanted to charge me $300 to grind this out. I said, no, I'm not going to pay for that. Just let it rot out. Oh, gosh, something's biting me. Oh, the red ants are on me. You little buggers, huh? You want to bite? Watch this. You're all dead. I hate those fire ants. Paula's fire ants in Georgia are from hell. Boy, did that thing hurt. Another one on me. Dead. Bye-bye, Felicia. Was it worth it? Man, those things hurt. Sting. Those oyster mushrooms, really? Thank you, Oliver. I appreciate that. I feel better. I don't look like a ragamuffin. Oh, really? I'm not allergic to them. They just irritate. They bite. Those little tiny things bite. I mean, they hurt. They hurt. Chad, I'm safe. I don't bother nobody. Fire ants. See if I can get a close-up of the damn things. We don't have any mountains in the backyard where I can kick them over and show you. See, they start getting in here. Here, let's see if we can disturb them. There's a spider. There's one. No. Where are they all? Got on my foot. Now I don't see them. The pain in the butt. That's right, Lone Wolf. We're bringing the mullet back. Bringing the mullet back. I missed MacGyver. You know, cougars. I didn't know we had cougars in Georgia. We have coyotes, which I'm surprised about. No, Chad, they charge too much. I pay $350 a year on the termite thing. Then we want to charge another $350 for the pest control. And all they do is spray it one time around the inside of the house for the year, and then they will come out once a month and dust for spider webs. Well, I can do that myself. I'm going to pay $350 for that. I don't have a pest control problem in the house. Anyway, I got to finish my trimming out of this stuff. Got to get this done. I want to paint that part green. I want to get this fixed up. Get this insulation and nails pulled out of here and clean this up and get that done. There was a glass door right here. And then they had a glass door here and they paneled it over. This was a mess. I tore out this whole wall all the way down, redid it, anchored it to the cement. This was all open from here, from here all the way across to the house. This was open. Used to be the front door of the house, right here. The pantry's on the other side of that. This used to be part of the whole front porch. And all I did was make it a dang entryway and storage room. Got to finish sheetrocking it. I'm going to paint this room white because there's no light in here, and the white will help keep it naturally lit. Anybody want a free fridge? It works. I just don't want to put it out there yet. I like my new Check It Out. I bought 2 new bulbs for the old light. It was only one. Look at that. So much better. Those are $8 a piece for those, but those fluorescents last forever. Last forever. Hi, Brooke. Thank you, Planet G. Oh, no, Lone Wolf. I went to the ladies down at the shop did it. I did it at the shop because I cut my hair one time in Colorado. You guys would have laughed. I cut the bangs because they were in my eyes. I got my hair washed and all I did was cut straight across. When my hair dried, I looked like a damn Swiss girl. I looked in the mirror and I thought, oh, good grief, what have I done to myself? I'm not making that up. I went to work at the truck center on Monday, and the sales guy said, Mike, what happened to your hair? I said, oh gosh, I look terrible. I gotta go to the stylist, see if she can fix it. He said, you look like an Idolize girl. I said, I know. I worked that day moving trucks, and every place I went into with all the macho guys were looking at me in stick grade. This guy from Switzerland, oh my gosh, just so silly. So silly. We have fire ants, G. They look like sugar ants, the little black sugar ants, very tiny. They bite with a ferocity that doesn't quit. Every time it rains, they mound up a hill about that big. I kick that hill over, thousands of ants come seething out of there. If you were to fall down on that face down, those ants would be biting you and you'd be done. They would literally consume your body. They're nasty little vicious pieces of crap. Hi, Cruella. Cruella, look. I got it cleaned off today. Yes, comes Prepper. Bobcats in Georgia. Bemis, you got a new car. What'd you get? Thank you, Bemis. Thank you, Paul Green. Wait a minute. Paul Green, you live in Louisiana? I didn't realize that. Ah. Oh, you got the big red ants up there. We got them tiny little fire ants. Really? Ooh, Cruella. Can I have this dance? Dun 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 dun. We could do like that. Thank you. Hello, Jordan, and welcome from Zimbabwe. How is Africa doing? All right, time to open a can of olives. Olives are my friend. God, right? There they are. People at the flea market were complaining about how humid it was today. Well, thank you, Cruella. I wish I had green or blue. They ate your chameleon. Wow, Brooke. I didn't know you had them all the way up north there. Now that shocks me. I figured all them bitey things were down there in the south. I thought the only bitey things up north were mosquitoes and then dang sandflies or horseflies or whatever they're called. Horseflies, now those things are crazy. What a name, horseflies. Well, thank you. What color are your eyes, Cruella? Flea market, I just bought another puzzle. That's it. Hi, Anne Marie. How are you? Which one? There's several. That's good, Anne Marie. Actually, Lone Wolf, bugs, animals, and humans were created in the same 6 days. According to Genesis. All right. That's good here. Look. Happy Farms cheese. Thank you, Caveman. How are you? Mac and cheese. I love this Colby Jack. Hi, Pond. Yes. This morning it was like this, and I said, no more. That'll make the owner happy. I've got hash. Do I have hash or do I eat it all? I think I got a can of hash in here. No, not tonight. I feel like pasta. No, I don't. There it is, more hash. That stuff is expensive. This stuff's $4 a can now. $4 a can. I tell you, I cannot believe how much stuff is going up. I paid $3.79 a gallon for gas today. 32 bucks for what? 9 gallons of gas. I don't let my truck get below half ever. I'm one of those. I don't. If I ever have an emergency, after Helene, even before Helene, it does, Julie. And after Helene, I had 3/4 of a tank in my truck. Now I try to keep it full in case there's ever an emergency and I got to just leave. I don't have to worry about getting gas. Wait a minute. I thought you were talking about corned beef hash. Brooke, what is hash? Thank you, Douglas. Thank you, GX. Now the coughing comes. Pot? Y'all talking about pot? Come on now. You know I'm not a pot man. Pot. I was gonna clean my room instead of that. I was gonna pick up the broom till I got. Pig parts. What is pig parts? Pig parts is yuck. Look what I got today. Was on clearance for $7. I don't need it now because it's hot. But I thought if I ever move, this is a good hoodie, a good one. So I bought it $7 and it's large. All right, where did I put it? Oh, I already hung it up. Hello. Check it out. Members only. Isn't this cool? $7. And it's nice and thick. I love it. This is good. I want to go north, man. I'm sick of all this heat. I don't want to be in the cold. I don't know. These summers down here are getting on my nerves. Got to worry about air conditioning going out. I want to move to a place that has a dang balance, if there's such a thing, and it's affordable. Yeah, but if I visit there, I can't live there, Brooke. Toronto would be nice because I could wear all my winter stuff again. But I heard Toronto's got a lot of problems. A lot of problems. And, I'm American, so I can't just get a job there. Hi, Mr. Russell. $7 was cheap for that. It was on the clearance rack. Yes, Lola, that's what I heard. Yes. You're going to Montana, huh, Douglas? Really, Brooke? Do I have to have a visa to work up there? How does that work? Well, it's affordable here, VG, or in Georgia, but the income level that I get is pathetic. I would sell my house. If I had very low or reduced rent and I could make it, and I didn't have to deal with noisy neighbors and bull crap, I would move. I'd put the money in the bank and leave it in there and go somewhere else and get a job. Yeah, Hugh, that's unbelievable. Yeah, I don't want to do under the table stuff. That's the only thing, Brooke. I'd be very nervous about that because I'd get caught and then I'd be in trouble. Thank you, Hugh. I want to make sure whatever I do is on the up and up because these days I don't need the devil snaring my butt. I would definitely give Canada a try. Definitely. AC's not running as much today. That's a good thing. Then it's going to get back up to 95 sometime next week. Crazy. We're in August, though. Today is August Foist. Hi, Fallen. Look, Fallen, look. Look, Fallen. If I could make enough money to live in Canada and I had health coverage, I would do it. Thank you. How are you, Fallen Angel? Got you, Brooke. I'm all right. Nader on. I thought of you, Nader on. Later on is later on. Today I took a rebuilding day. let's just take it easy. I feel a little better. I'm not sneezing, and my head doesn't feel like it's got 10 tons of pressure on it. Really? Yeah, but even for a non-citizen? My work is admittedly stuffed up and taxed me way too high. Good. I hope they fix that, Fallen. That's crazy. Brooke, I won't do it. I won't lie. I won't do that. Michael's got to do things on the up and up with income and paperwork because I don't want to get in trouble. Get in trouble with that, then you go to jail. Thank you, William. How are you? Pond! The Shannon Airport. Oh, that's nice, Fallen. I'm glad to hear that. I was at emergency an African gentleman. Wow, really, bro? Planet G was showing me the view out the window of her house. Unbelievably beautiful Irish countryside. Wow, Fallen, what made them come around? So they seemed a little slow. Hi, Judge Jamie. Buttering you up, huh? Figures. Always a caveat. No, I got a trim, Nate. Now you would know. Remember it was all sticking out the sides and my ears were all covered? No, I got a cut today. Yes, Planet G, that was a cool view. Wow, Brooke, that's crazy. Fallen. I love my chatters here, man. If I'm going to network, this is the place to do it. God could use you guys to lead me in time in the direction He wants me to go. Nate, I've been blessed. Yeah, the South has chiggers, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, fire ants, mosquitoes, gnats, cockroaches, there are palmetto bugs, German cockroaches, and all manner of everything else that bites and stings and hurts. I need to get my stuff. I don't know why. This time of year, like clockwork, it starts itching here. Not this arm, right in here. I do not know. It does it every year, this time of year. Strike. Rub some of that blue star on there. Get the Raid in the spray can. That's the best stuff, James. You like gator meat, Douglas? I never had it. Ticks like to burrow in your skin. You go walk in the Minnesota woods in the summer, you go home, you gotta stand in front of a full-length mirror, take your underwear off and check around all your hair and everything and make sure one hasn't burrowed into you. Bats, man. I remember when I was in Colorado, getting ready for work one morning. And I will say, in Colorado, I have my window open, except in the winter. I had it open to let that Colorado air in at night. I was getting ready, dark 38. And, ooh, 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 ooh. And I looked out the window and the moon was shining on the structure of the house. And I could see the roof line out my window. It was shining from behind the house, or the front of the house. And I could see the outline of the owl. And I'm like, oh, a hoot owl. That was cool. Reminded me of that song, Wildfire. There's a hoot owl outside my window now. 6 nights in a row. She's calling for me, I know. She ran calling wildfire. She ran calling wildfire. Some people think that song is sappy. I always liked it. Horse that got lost in a blizzard on a cold Nebraska night. Man, I wish I had money. I'd bring Fallen and Tans and G, and I'd have an old school bus fitted up with rooms, or, beds and stuff, and a bathroom and a kitchen. Take you all on a trip across this country, and we go see it all. Ticks are bloodsuckers. Hi, Summer. Mine's in March, Nate. When the song Gypsy came out, where is it? William, when the song Gypsy came out when I was in high school, I went and bought that album. I love that song. Back to the gypsy that I was. And it all comes down to you. Maybe once, maybe twice. Oh, la, la, la. You see old gypsy. Would you guys do that? If I had money, would you guys like come take a converted school bus ride and see the country? Yeah, bats will bite if you mess with them. Cruella! Led Zeppelin, Cruella, I love that song. All of my love to you. He sang that to his song, or to his son. There's a slow and reverbed version of that song, and it is beautiful. You can type in All of My Love, Led Zeppelin, slow and reverbed. Oh, I love that. Why do they protect bats? I don't know, man. People are nervous about getting on cruises with all of this dang hantavirus or whatever. I don't know what it is about cruise ships, but people get sick on those a lot. All right, what's the problem with this? I'll be your gypsy. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. You know, women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes, you'll surely know. You will know. If you don't eat your meat, you're not going to get your pudding. We don't need no education. I don't need no thoughts control. No dark sarcasm in the classroom. Teacher, leave them kids alone. Bon Jovi. Planet G. Jim, you sent them right when I was live, so I didn't look. We got a fox at work. I went to pull a bunch of rims out of a container, and I pulled the pickup back there to throw them in the bed of the truck, and I got in the truck, and the fox ran across the dirt road. He got 10 feet away, and I pulled up, and he stared at me, and we just went like this. His eyes blinked. He had reddish and brown and blonde. He was mottled, different colors. Pretty tall fox. And the guy in the wood shop sitting there feeding him biscuits and actually got the fox to take out of his hand. I said, you better be careful, Scott. That thing's going to bite down on you and you're going to get rabies. Now you're going to get rabies. I said, I wouldn't even touch that thing. I said, I would not touch those wild animals. Feeding the foxes. I used to do that in Colorado when they came up in the backyard. There was a fox den on the property. My ex-wife had a habit of buying way too much stuff, and a bunch of meat had been freezer burned, and it was snowing in February, and opened the back door and I'd throw it across the creek. And I'm standing there watching, the snow's coming down. I'm like, look at that. And these foxes kept coming up and dragging the meat off, the frozen meat. And I called my wife. I said, watch this. Give me some more of that meat you threw away. And I'd go out there and set it in the snow, and the fox come up, take it, trot it off back to their den. I think it was the hantavirus. And a fox. What did you say, Oliver? I don't understand what you said. Oh, you feed the fox. I got you. You got raccoons in Florida, really? I thought it was Hanta, H-A-N-T-A. I could be wrong. Tell you what, I'm being tongue-in-cheek, folks, but you can go up to the different restaurants on the cruise ship. You can go to the Ebola Cafe, the Hantavirus Grill, and you can go to the COVID Bar. Yeah! The Diarrhea Lido Lounge. The Hershey Squirt Lounge. Oh, that'd be so awesome, Cruella. That would be awesome. That is so awesome. You know, Oliver, and you know that they tell us not to feed the wildlife, then they become dependent on us, and then they start multiplying, and I don't feed the squirrels no more. I've seen them do so much damage. Years ago, I used to feed them, and then they were up in the soffits and getting up in the attic. Not here, but Hershey Squirt Lounge. Come eat Squirtle, the turtle. Shoot, I remember just down in Florida taking care of my buddies. Well, the one daughter, taking them to their soccer games, and the 9-year-old, she was into Pokemon cards, and she said, here, I want you to see these. I said, Squirtle, the turtle. She goes, what? I said, that's so crazy. Your possums are like our squirrels, really. Do they still do the old-fashioned fox hunt in the UK? Ugh. I don't think I'd do that one. Russell, I don't think I'd do that one. I don't think I could do that. Years ago, when I lived in Mammoth, we had a John's Pizza. The mom and pop pizza business. They had many different pizza varieties. One of them was a peanut butter pizza. I never got that. I would get the regular. I was a pig. I was always a pig. And my parents would buy pizza for the family, and I said, Mom, can I get my own pizza? She goes, you can't eat it. I said, I will eat the entire thing. Tuna's for cats. Fallen, look. Fallen, then I must be a cat. I eat it in my... Tuna's for cats. Really, Oliver? Pond! Brooke, Fallen, puke faces. When I was in the Philippines in 2018, Prescott would cook the dinner. She'd cook the fish. The minute she started cooking that fish, all the cats in the neighborhood get up on the first story roofs of the houses next to us, jump up to the second floor windows, meow, 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 and they're rubbing their legs. There's like 4 or 5 cats in the kitchen. Meow. Man, we'd throw the bones down and they would eat them. They would hiss at each other. One would jump up in this windowsill and jump out on the roof. Boy, they guarded their stuff. They'd hiss at each other. Don't you get away from my fish. So funny. No, Nate, no animals. I need a woman. Only a woman can give me what I need. Somebody tried to steal a... They left it open and hid it in the store. No pond, no cats. Yeah, they're in my backyard, Pond. They can live back there. They just don't belong in here, pissing and fur shedding and scratching everything. I don't like that. I like animals out there in the wild. I like watching the cats. They started lowing out my bedroom window now. Wow. They get all this noise every day. They're in heat. I went and walked in the yard the other day and there's shredded feathers. They tore apart a bird. I'm like, okay. These cats must have ran loose from wherever they lived and now they're just eating the vermin in the neighborhood. You know, that just shocks me. Australia is literally all the way out there. How do you get drugs in Australia? Aren't the ships checked? You can't bring it in on the planes. How do they get crack in Australia? The U.S., our border's porous as hell. It comes up from damn Colombia. How do they get it in Australia? How do they get it in Guam? I still can't believe it. You mean they make it? They make it there? Oh, pheasant's good eating. Oh, the noises are unbelievable, sheepish. I didn't know they could make it. You taught me something, Fallen. Hey, Fallen Angel, do you like Olivia Newton-John? One of my favorite songs is when she and ELO teamed up. A place where nobody dared to go. The love that we came to know, they call it Xanadu. Oh, I love that song. Oh my gosh, I love Xanadu. She is a legend. That voice. Xanadu was awesome. I love that. ELO and she teamed up. That was the bee's knees back in the 80s. Bum, bum. Xanadu, Xanadu, now we are here. It's Xanadu. You, Xanadu. Olivia Newton-John was cute too. I'm going to go back in the past. Planet G and Fallen. This is a test going back some years. Do you guys remember Petula Clark? I'll give you a hint about Petula. La da 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 da. Downtown. Da 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 da. Downtown. La da 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 da. The traffic in the city. La da 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 da. Yes, she was British. Very cool. Or wait a minute. Was she from the UK or was she from Australia? I thought she was from UK. Beautiful woman. They got a video of her in the auditorium singing. And she's walking through the crowd and kids and people are looking at her. What a cool lady. What a cool beans lady she was. She wasn't too good to get down there with her fan club. I cannot find the video anymore. But there's a video of Petula Clark in the U.S. after the RMS Queen Mary showed up in Long Beach for the last voyage. And it wasn't hooked up. The engines were turned off. And she went on board the Queen Mary before it was turned into a museum. And with a flashlight was able to go into the rooms and see the old ship. And she's sitting in a little boat in front of the bow of the Queen Mary in Long Beach. She said, I've decided to have tea with a lady. And she's got all her white on and she's holding her teacup. And then the camera pans and there's the Queen Mary. I said, that is really cool. She was a class act. She was a class act. They say that. I don't believe that. I've been on it. That ship doesn't scare me at all. I wish I could live on it. I'm not into California like I used to be, but if they gave me a job and I could live on that and live life, shoot, I'd be happy as a clam doing videos on that. The ship would not be open at 2 or 3 in the morning, except for the hotel. Man, I could wander all over that dang thing and do videos. I love the Queen Mary. Been on it many times. Sit on one of those big anchor chain capstans and sit there and do lives with all of you. That would be awesome. Clams are happy? You're funny. That's an expression. You never use that down under? Happy as a clam? Duran Duran was from UK. No, Duran Duran was from Britain. That's funny, Fallen. Pond is living in a very cool turn of the century 3-story house with an attic. You can look out her window, the library's across the street. She's literally like on the town square. Very, very quaint little town. Simon Le Bon. Yep. See, I think it's interesting. All of us are from different places, and we still appreciate all of our, can I just say it, Anglo-Saxon, European roots and musicians, and that's what's really cool. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. I'm at the gas station filling up my truck, and some homies circling the lot playing that damn tribal shit. And I hate that stuff. Oh, I hate that stuff. Just stupid. And you listen to what it's saying. It's bugga 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 mother ever be. I'm like, you know what? Turn that off, or I'm going to aim for the speakers. Gosh, that stuff is stupid. That is not culture. That is just garbage. DACA? Oh, wait a minute. Are you thinking Dawkins? In my dreams, you're still the same. I like Poland based on what I've seen. I feel like I could enjoy visiting Poland. I never thought of going there, but in recent years I've watched them. They have not acquiesced to all this woke crap. I love AHA. Great Father sailed from Northern Ireland to Canada on the Victoria and Allen line. Never heard of it. Just wondered about. I have not heard of that line. Planet G. I know, William, it's just garbage. It's tribalistic, satanic caca. It's not music, it's just trash. Absolute trash. You know, I've heard people swear by that thing, Paul. Oh, Akadaka, that's funny. Um, I don't know what the Crown Bridge used to call it crown meat. People who were contributing to the comments the most get crowns. You get crowned for talking. Colette does not like Duran Duran at all. She referred to them as pretty boys, and I joked her. I said, I like Duran Duran. I love their music. Union of the Snake. Wild boys, wild boys. Wild boys are calling on their way back from the fire. In August moon surrender. Yeah, if you can find out the name of the ship, I can look up pictures of it. Hey, Thomas, thank you. How are you? I'm a loudmouth, sorry. No, I turned it off, William, because I can't get what people donated. I can receive money from Cash App, not to YouTube. Chat wasn't gone. I turned it off. Dave, sometimes I turn it off when I get on my rant so I'm not interrupted. Hungry like the wolf. Yeah, Dave, sometimes I do that so I can just go uninterrupted onto a subject. We got two kinds of people. We got those that like chat. We got those that like my rants uninterrupted. Yes, Planet G. Hurry back, Fallen. Her name is Rio and she dances on the sand. Just like that river winding through a dusty land. Girls on film. Girls on film. An instrumental piece by Duran Duran that's fascinating is Tel Aviv. The other one is Tiger. Tiger. Love that. They have a couple of good instrumentals. The problem is it requires an email, and Foreskin will get on that email and wreck it, so I can't get into it. I can't do my channel like some because you have that butthole, Andrew, in here constantly being a pill. If we could find out where that guy lives, we could definitely fire a shot across the bow and get a detective to get his butt in a court. Jim, I never heard of that. Uh-oh, there's a question for Planet G. Question for Planet G. So I want to share an experience with you. that is rather interesting. I went to City Trends today, a store, to try to find some shoes. I've been to enough shoe aisles. They don't make a woman's shoes in my size. Or if they do, they're not in the store. Welcome back, Fallen Angel. And apparently it looks like I need a size 12 in a woman's. Well, I'm not seeing them. So I went into City Trends. It's not far from where I live. But that entire shopping center over there is all African American. And I'm going to be honest. It's the second time I've been in that store in as many years. I walked in there and it's full of people. Children, adults, teens, all black. Most of the black people are bigger than me. Most black guys, even the teens, are bigger than me. I mean, they are just endued with muscle and strength and size. And I'm walking in there, I did not have a problem. But you talk about feeling like a fish out of water. And I've learned to gain confidence by going into places. Nothing will force you out of your shell and your comfort zone, but to force yourself to learn how to navigate. And then when I went to queue up for the line, oh man, was it long. There must have been 20 people in front of me. And there was a guy, probably 17, with his girlfriend, both of them taller than me. And you know, people comment on the way I'm dressed. Let me make it very clear that most of the black ladies out here, they've got this, and that's it. Just literally this. If I can demonstrate. They're walking around in a skimpy tube top with it all the way out to here. Booty shorts. I mean, they're showing as much skin and cleavage and butt cheeks as they can. And this guy had his arms all over her. He's like trying to be Mr. Badass. And they were stepped aside from the line. And I just politely said, are you guys waiting in line? And he goes, yeah. He said, line so long. I said, yeah, I see that. And they moved up and I got behind them. No problem. But he had his arms all over her, both taller than me. She looked like she was pretty decent. He's slobbered all over her, and you know, I just could tell by looking, he clearly wasn't raised that you're in public, get control of yourself. But I did not, you know, I looked around, over, and through him. There was a mother, a young lady with her kids with strollers, people spilling all behind me. But nobody bothered me. Nobody gave me this stink eye. The guy that had his hands all over his girlfriend would look at me every so often. But I'd be looking off to the right, watching people in the store. And I'd see them, but I wouldn't. And I didn't have any problem. But it's just interesting because when you are the only white guy and you walk into that and you realize, wow, you know, it really is a different culture. You look at the faces, you look at them. I'm a fish out of water. And I'm not racist. I hope nobody in here thinks I'm racist. Most people in my race are not going to do what I do. In fact, Mimi was in here. And based on what she said this morning, she would never go into that store. Never. And I'm glad I've had these experiences, but it does make me realize people group up with their comfort zone. They group up with their comfort zone. And you know, people talk about racism and stuff. But the blacks typically go to their stores. I'm the rare one. I go in there and I'm out of place. But I went there a couple weekends ago. And I had my lace top on. And hi, Greg. A black lady walked right up. She goes, I love that top. And we started talking in the store. And I will say there are an element of blacks that are chill. They don't got anything going in their brain against us. They're just shopping, they're doing their thing. I went out of that store to my truck, drove to the end of the strip mall, went to Dollar Tree, two black women running that. I said, excuse me, do you have any veggie chips? She goes, you know what, I think we're out. And we were chatting. She was extremely nice. She goes, they got the straws. I said, yeah, I bought the straws. I said, I'm noticing that they're out. I just wondered if you guys. She took me down the aisle. She goes, nope, we're out. I said, thank you. She goes, yeah, no problem. And there are black women, and when I acknowledge them, they light up with a big, broad smile. Then you got the younger ones, like when I was at the Walmart this morning, and you look them in the eye and you go, smile or whatever, and they're just dead. And I think that with a lot of, you got cantankerous old people in all races. You got, it's just weird. Sometimes I feel uncomfortable. I can't imagine living in Spain and having 100,000 of these Muslims come tearing across the border. That doesn't set well with me. They call them strip malls. They're not a mall where you go inside commons area with stores on the left and the right, all indoors under roof. A strip mall is a storefront. It's one long building, but you have to go from the parking lot into this store, back out to the next store, back out to the next store. You don't join by a common hall. So they call them strip malls, storefronts. Hi, Pocket Joe. Yeah, I'm sure you got them down there in Aussie. Basically, they're just one long building with a common roof, and you just have to enter each door to the front of each business. Unlike a mall, they have the roll-up, and in the whole inside of the mall, you can just walk, in and out of anything. Incidentally, there's a Waffle House over there. It's right there. And I used to take Johnito, we get done with our bus routes, we go over there for breakfast. Johnito called me the other day and said, you cannot eat in the restaurant anymore. You can only come and pick up your order now. I said, really, why? She said, because people got rowdy in there. That Waffle House on Gordon Highway was making YouTube that black patrons sitting on this side of the counter were jumping over the counter and beating up the cooks and the waitresses, and somebody filmed this crap and put it on YouTube. And it just became so GHETTO. And when Johnny and I went in the morning crowd's cool. But you get late night, a Waffle House is open 24 hours, and people act like a bunch of barbarians. So stupid. It is. It's dumb. Greg, mac and cheese. I don't think Jim really has a channel. He just has an ID for chat. This is not a wig. This is my hair, dude. Look. Jovan, what's in those waffles? Pond, I love catfish, but I don't do it like the South. 3 pounds of sausage. Good grief, that's a lot of pig meat. Waffle House, they have hash brown bowls. The hash brown, the eggs, the bacon, cheese. Those are pretty good, but those are like $10 a piece now. There goes the smoke alarm. Somebody just told me they do that when it's hot weather. Brand new batteries, they chirp once in a while. I don't eat pizza, Greg, so I don't know. I have allergies to wheat, so I can't eat the crust. Hey, Patricia, how are you? I just replaced them, sheepish. They're brand new. They do it when it's hot. Eight a.m. and I'm talking about salmon worms. Ew. Fallen, that's gross. Nasty. Hey, Cinnamon, thank you. Worms in the salmon, that is so nasty. Nasty. I do not like salmon worms. I cut open my avocado yesterday. It was not overly ripe. I opened it up and there's all these little black marks in there. It looked like something got inside of it. I said, no, this is straight to the trash. I will never buy them in the summer again. Winter is the best time. I can never tell when they're ripe. If you cut it open too prematurely, it's hard as a rock. You know, that's 80 cents. What a waste. I never buy more than one at a time. You gotta catch them when they're just right. They're either too hard, and when they're too soft, then they're all blackened. Blackened, gross, nasty. Oh, my juicy juice is my favorite. Kelly! All right, that thing's chirping all of a sudden a lot. Which one is doing that? I'm getting tired of that. Is it you? I'm gonna to tell you something. I believe in the devil. I will sit there and stare at these things and they don't do it. The minute I turn my back, something beeps. You guys ever had that? Or you hear a sound in your vehicle. You hear it over and over and you take it to the mechanic. Whoa, we couldn't find anything. You drive it 10 miles away from the dealer or the mechanic. Tink, 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 tink. Let's do it again. All right, which one of you is backing up? That is so weird. I stand right under that, I don't hear it, I hear it. But then I come in here. Now I heard it again. I swear I'm going to lose my mind over that thing. But it's not that one. I replaced them, Ever, and that's what I don't understand about these dumb things. There's no reason they should be beeping. Dumb little problems. So now we're going to do the test. If you're going to do it, and don't play. Wow. Is it this one? I did. Oh, see? There's something beeping in this house. And it's not these alarms. I did this once before. I pulled all three of them down and sat them by the table when I did the jigsaw puzzle. That is weird. That is the strangest thing. There is no other smoke alarm. You guys hear that? It's not these. There is no other alarm in this house, and there's no electronic. That is the weirdest thing. Is this thing? That is so strange. What's in here? Wall outlet covers. There's no smoke alarms in there. You guys are witnesses to the insanity of this place. Not these. No, my water heater doesn't do that. My water heater has no sensors on it. It's just an old school one. That is the weirdest dang thing. That is the weirdest thing. One more. And it's weird. This does not do this all the time. It does it when I'm in the kitchen. And it does it when I'm sitting there doing a jigsaw puzzle. I never hear it when I come home Monday through Friday. The little one does it on the weekend. And I don't know why. All right. You're the last one. I just heard it again. You guys, this stuff drives me nuts. Yeah, I was looking at my thermostat, but I don't think. No, and I just heard that damn thing again. That is so weird. No smoke alarm up here. Hey Ethan, how are you? Well, I've got one down the hall. For smoke, I've got a carbon monoxide detector because I got gas lines. See, I can still hear that chirping. It's not a cricket. That is the strangest thing. Don't know where it's coming from. It's an electronic noise. It's not a cricket or anything. It is, but which one? It's not the ones down there. See? Did it again. The furnace system does not have any sensors on it. It's old. That is the weirdest thing. Palgren, but you saw me. I brought them right here. They're not doing it. I brought all three of them right here. They're not doing it. I can still hear the noise. You're a witness. It's not the smoke alarms. There's something chirping in here. Sheesh. I don't know what it is, but it's getting on my nerves. And it's doing it constantly. So I'm going to stand down here and listen. Down there. That is the weirdest thing. I can't trace where it is. Yeah, I have a CO2 alarm and I pulled it down. It's not doing it. I stood in that hall. I hear it chirping, but it's coming from here. When I stand here, it sounds like it's coming from there. It's not that one in that room. There needs to be more detectors. I need one here. I need one in the living room. There's nothing in the attic. Never put one up there. That would have been doing that years ago. Thank you, Andra. It's not a cricket. This has happened before. I kept thinking I bought an extra smoke alarm and tucked it somewhere and it might have had a battery in it. And I looked and I don't find any of that. What's that? What is all this stuff? One cup. Oh, there's the rest of my scouring pad. Smoke alarms in here. I don't know. So weird. All right, I'm done with the smoke alarms, guys. You're a witness. I went through all of them. None of them are doing it. Strange. Why is this thing not charging? I noticed the Apple phone is a problem. When I'm streaming, this thing gets hot and it will not recharge when it's hot. That is a fault of Apple. a total fault. This phone is, Apple is not as great as it's cracked up to be. Hi, Tans. I was going to shoot you a message today. I'm sorry I didn't do it. It was supposed to rain here, but it turned out to be another nothing burger, which is par for the course lately. Fallen Angel, you got a toothache? Just do what the guy did in Castaway. Take the ice skate and knock the tooth out. Can you imagine doing that? See, these are crickets out here, and that don't sound like the same thing in the house. It's just a mist rain. You remember that, Russell? Oh my gosh, no, Fallen, I would not recommend that. A Beatles-style mullet. Mr. Palad, you crack me up. It is. It's right up there with dang gout. I used to get gout until I took allopurinol. I have to take one every day. I don't get gout. That stuff is nasty. Joel, where are you at? Pond. Yeah, there's a couple ladies that run the barber shop. The old man couldn't do it. He got Alzheimer's, so the ladies took it over. $25 now. They went up. $25 just for a haircut. Gosh, I remember Supercuts used to be like $6 or $8 back in the day. Everything's going up except the paycheck. Arizona. I don't eat yeast. No bread. $0.50. Wow, for a haircut. That's a trip. You know, I'm wondering if the more chat, if that causes overheat on this phone. Okay. Now that I heard, and it's loud. We need to pull one of these down, and I need to keep it near me. That sounded like it was this direction. But then I'll stand right here, and it won't do it, and then I'll hear it somewhere else. There it is, right there. Everybody wave with me. And I heard it, but it's not from that. That is the weirdest dang thing. Hi, Jess. How are you? Oh, did you really just do that? You dumped the drain, set stuff, and then you just dumped it back out. Hey, dumb, pay attention. Tans, it's good to see you, Tans. I'm telling you, this thing is playing demon with me. Now I hear it down there. Look, I'm not joking about this. Yeah, I tell you what, there's a devil in this house playing with electronic chirps. Now it sounds like it's coming down the hall. But then I go down the hall and you'll hear it down here. Weird thing. If I could just get it to do it. Yes, frog eat frog. Yeah, it is creepy. It's not, it doesn't give me the creeps. There's a logical explanation for everything. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in haunting. Just there's something going on that for whatever reason I can't nail it down. Maybe there was a smoke alarm built into the wall that had a 20-year battery and now it's acting up. And I'll drive myself nuts. It's like the guy that showed the house collapsed and the guy's standing in the driveway and he says, I got the spider. Sheesh. That's where it's at, boys. Peter, I didn't take your advice. I just did it. Oh, where's my dang basket? You know, I don't take most people's advice when it comes to my haircut. I just do something when I want to do it. It was flipping up on the sides, and I did not like that. I woke up this morning, it looked like I had hat head, and I don't even wear a hat. I love that cartoon. He thought he could pull the head over my eyes, and I don't even wear a hat. That's so stupid. All right, let's hunker down. Now, the only thing that plays music is the Bluetooth speaker, and that plugs into the wall. I'm one of those that unplugs everything when it's not using. I unplug the washing machine. I turn the water faucets off so it isn't stressing on the hookups. I just do that. It's the creature of habit to protect things. I turn off or unplug the washer if you ever had a lightning strike and it did a back surge, it won't fry it. Tans, can I take you out of there? You would be the kind of a person that I would love to have in this place. See, this is weird. They got a built-in smoke alarm right there, but it don't work. That's hooked up, hardwired to the electricity in the house. There's nothing else that takes batteries, Fallen. I don't have TVs, flat screens, clock radios, nothing. I promise you, if a woman came into my house, she'd be like, no TV. They would not like it in here. I don't watch TV. Everything I do is on this internet. Hi, Colette. Pond with all the hearts. Fallen, that's what I'm talking about. Tans, do you see me or hear me? There you are. Stop that train. I vaguely remember that. That's cute. Do you remember that cartoon? Stop that pigeon now. I don't go live on another channel. This is the only channel I have. Is that Muttley? Stop that pigeon. What sounds like a Democrat, real American? Penelope Pit Stop. Look, you guys knew who I was talking about. Whoa, whoa. Penelope with the automatic lipstick thing. What sounds like a Democrat? American? I asked you a question. Wow, Tans, yes, Lord, we pray for Tan's sister. We pray for her psychological well-being. We pray that she'd be able to cry out to you. If she isn't saved, that she'd get saved. And if she is, we pray that you give her peace, your peace, and help her to rise up over this stuff. We ask you to be with Tan's sister and Tan's during this time. Tan's taking on a load trying to care for her family. We pray that you be with them in Jesus' name. Amen. Planet G, I just did. What is the real American left a comment, it didn't answer it, and he's left the room. I have a microwave, but that doesn't do that. Yes, Colette, absolutely. This stuff here, it's called allopurinol. Got to hide all the private stuff. It's allopurinol, 300 milligram tablets. You take one a day with food. Allopurinol. It is the only thing that gets rid of all the purines. Why is it people get bent? How come you go live on another channel and I can't make a comment? I don't go live on another channel. And I said that. I don't have another channel. And then he said, that sounds like a Democrat. I said, what does that mean? And he didn't answer. What is with people, man, and their stupid comments? I don't have another channel. How does that sound like a Democrat? This is the only channel I have. I turn the comments off on some of my lives on this channel, and people fuss about that. Fuss. It's like, this is my channel. I'll cry if I want to. I cannot believe the childishness of some people. I mean, come on. I need my viewers to weigh in. Am I right? And anybody says I sound like a Democrat's got their head stuffed so far up their butt cheeks, it's not even funny. I don't lie like a Democrat. I tell the truth. Thank you, Tans. There's nothing wrong with doing rants and turning the chat off. Chat is a distraction sometimes. Danola, how are you? That's right, G. And I think the best thing I ever did was get a lot of women moderators in here because you guys have been reasonable and fair. We used to have more men, but they just don't come as much. Danola, good to see you. Got you, Paul Green. Thanks for showing up. You have a good night. Thank you, Danola. It was sticking up like this. I got up this morning and you cannot get that curl to go down. So we're going to start preparing for the mullet. We're gonna go back to the good old days. I wish we could turn back time like the good old days. Oh, it's going to take so long to get that down. I miss my locks. Brooke, I miss my hair. These Southerners down here hate long hair on a guy. There are Christians who believe it's a sin. And I just tell people, I'm not a Southerner. That has nothing to do with it. It does. I am not a Southern boy. I'm Michael. I identify as a Great Lakes guy. And Lord willing, I'll end up back that direction or somewhere cooler eventually. Most of all of you are all north of me anyway. So I need to move in the direction where all my fans are at. Hi, Dragonfly. A dragonfly hanging out in the backyard the other day here. There was quite a few of them hanging out. A dragonfly came to see me in my yard. How cool. Did you hear me talking to you, dragonfly? You landed on the wall of my back room outside. Dragonfly, you are the true dead on. You are true dead on. You got those that hold the superstitious and rot and cultural junk. And then you got the nice ones. Yeah, they don't understand if you can't comment, but you can comment on a video, but not the live like chat, then figure it out. You haven't been blocked. Dragonflies kill a huge amount of bugs, so I never swatted a dragonfly. They will, Colette. It's freaking free. That's the funny thing. They don't have to pay for it. Looking through surface level bullshit. Dragonfly, did you ever see the movie way back in the day called The Rescuers? Remember Evinrude? That was cute. That was a good little movie. I saw that as a kid in the theater in Los Angeles as a kid, the Flat Floor Theater. The Rescuers was so cool. I loved that movie as a kid. Tried to rescue that poor little girl and her little teddy bear. And that jewel was hidden in the little Pookie or whatever that teddy bear's name was. And the way the mice talked, that one sounded like Zsa Zsa Gabor. In fact, I think it was Zsa Zsa's voice in one of those mice. Wasn't it? Dragonfly, wasn't that Zsa Zsa Gabor's voice in one of those mice? The Rescuers, Danola. The two mice that went to rescue that kidnapped girl, and that woman lived on an old riverboat down in the swamp, and she had these big alligators that she'd sick on people. Got you. Hi, James. James, we've got Planet G is from Northern Ireland. Welcome. Thank you, Lynn, and how are you? And welcome. You know, and Colette, I always thought Australia was like this and New Zealand was up here. And it's just the opposite. It's funny, people brag about being in the South. The Philippines is way south than here. New Zealand is way south than all of that. Colette. Little one unsettled, huh? Look, everybody's imitating. See, now I make a little disciples. You guys are going to go into your respective worlds. I'm doing well. How are you? And they're going to go, why do you do that? Oh, there's a guy on YouTube I listen to. Let's rock and shake the corporate world. I want to see the corporate world get uptight when they see this. How you doing, Jim? How's things at the company? They're fine. Is there any other question you want to ask me? Oh, I thought you were going to tell me things are going. They're not going well. They're fine. Do not say well. I just ate a sandwich. Yum. What kind, Pond? Deneen, we talk about God, faith, everything. You name it, we cover it. The other day we talked about the Islamic immigrants flooding up to 100,000 into Spain. The other day we talked about current events, historical events, everything. Ocean liners, the Titanic, sexuality, politics, issues, ethnicity. We don't leave any stone unturned. Welcome to the channel. Turkey and cheese. Dragonfly. Thank you, Sat. I'm tired of that flip up, so I had to get it trimmed today. I don't remember that. I remember Land Before Time with Littlefoot. I never saw that, but it was a movie with dinosaurs or whatever. Thank you, Sack. Did you pond? Thank you, Tans. Tans is so sweet. Hi, Kelly. How's Down Under doing? Do you come from a land down under where women go and men chunder? Can't you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover. You know, it saddens me. Colin Hayes, Men at Work, got sued over that part of the song right there as a copyright infringement. Kelly, you know about that? Something by the Old Gum Tree. Old Australian tune from the 30s. And when Men at Work did that, they did not think they were stepping on anything. Thank you, Dragonfly. And I like to have fun. I like to pull up different stuff. Did I say Colin Hayes? I thought it was Colin Hayes. Colin James. They got sued. Some guy took over. That was a lady who did that. Kookaburra Sings by the Old Gum Tree. Something like that. That's totally ridiculous, frivolous, and crap. It nearly did Men at Work in. It took a big, giant dent on that. Yeah, they were sued because that little piece of music, Kookaburra Sings by the Old Gum Tree, Kookaburra Sings by the Old Gum Tree. Yeah, they got in trouble for that. Yeah, they were sued. Thank you, Thomas. How are you? We're going for Mulletville now. Very sad. I mean, the woman who did that song's dead. The company was turned over to some big guy, and big guy probably wasn't making money with the company, and he thought, oh, we're going to go after Men at Work. Sick. What they could have done is been reasonable and said, look, you got a copyright infringement. Let's sit down and talk. You kick me some royalties, and we'll just call it good. That's what he should have done. But he had to be an ass. Well, they don't sing the lyrics to it in the Men at Work song. It's musically incorporated in there. So if I write a song and I have a band and I've got a song and I go and try to imitate anything that anybody did, I'm going to be sued. Classical music composers did it all the time. You listen to Rachmaninoff, Beethoven, Mendelssohn, Mussorgsky, Dvorak, all of them. There's little snippets that they would steal and incorporate into their piece. They did it all the time. Hi, Bones. Tracy, that song, My Sweet Lord, I can't listen to it. Do a study on that. Oh, it's catchy. George Harrison, but George Harrison was interviewed way back in the day, and listen to what he said. He said, I think it's funny. He said, I got Christians singing my song thinking it's a Christian song. It isn't. It's to Hare Krishna. My sweet Lord, Hare Krishna. Oh, don't tell me it's not in there. Listen to the whole thing. Hallelujah. Hare Krishna. Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, my gosh, that was blatant. Blatant. Thank you, Denola. Yes. That song caught me when I was a kid and I wasn't a Christian. I loved it. And then when I got saved, I was like, ruh-roh, I'm not listening to that no more. Well, Pun, I love you, but you still tip your hat in the direction of Hare Krishna. I told you, you got to get out of that stuff. That stuff's the devil. Deneen, most people never did. Most people never did. Bones, it's going all right. Feel a little bit better. Well, the music grabs you. Jimi Hendrix said back in the 60s, with music, we can grab these kids and tell them anything we want them to hear. Jimi Hendrix said that. It was an Australian icon. I found that out. I did not know that until I watched the video. There's a video on that. There's a YouTube video on how they got sued and the whole 9 yards. I guess maybe they didn't think that it was a copyright infringement. Do what you say what you mean. One thing leads to another. The Fix. So what are the words to that, Colette? Is it Kookaburra sings by the old gum tree? Am I right? Yeah, no, actually it's showing 70, Kelly. The numbers bounce around depending on where you are. Kookaburra is a bird in Australia. I had an interest in a woman down in Melbourne many years ago, and she was at one of the colleges. I can't remember what the name of it was. And she said, Michael, do you hear that? We were on video talking. And she said, that's a kookaburra. I said, no, that's really distinct. Got you, Danola. Now it's 82. But do you think it was an oversight on purpose, Colette? Or do you think they figured nobody would make an issue about it? What's your thought on that? I mean, it was the 1980s. This was before Napster. This was before everybody got sue happy over music. Churches in America have been sued using overhead projector music of modern contemporary Christian music. They've been sued. It has to have integrity music, whoever stamped on it, meaning they have to buy it from the company. It has to be incorporated on that screen. Oh yeah, churches have been sued. Lots of money for that. Kookaburra wake me every damn morning. You're funny. Kelly, so your coworkers thought that this channel was a gas, huh? Where do you work, Kelly? Or what? You don't have to give the place, but what do you do, if I may ask? Waltzing Matilda. Yes. Really, Kelly, come and do mine. You haven't seen Kelly's messages zapped, thank God. First I thought, why does she keep retracting her messages? She's not saying anything wrong. She goes, I'm not doing it. Yep. Oh, yes, absolutely. Look, look at Fallen Angel. I like sniffing. Look what I got. Isn't that fun? Koalas get drunk off this stuff. And they fall out of the trees, I was told. Koalas are so cute looking, but I heard they make a hideous noise. Oh, really? Now, Kelly, that takes talent. That's cool. That is cool. Tea tree oil, I've heard of that. Justin, where you at? It's sprinkled dinked here. I thought we were going to get blasted, and it didn't. Let down city. Kookaburra sings under the old gum tree. Oh my gosh, if I could pee up without knocking everything over, that'd be a talent. Chicago. Yeah, I've heard of that. I didn't know it was shampoo. I've just heard of it. This stuff smells good. I put that Blue Star on here and it stopped that crazy itching. That Blue Star works. It does do its job. So I did my ethnic exposure today, and that was something else. I started to realize something. You know, I always was curious about ethnicity, but as I get older, and I never thought I'd say this, and I'm not racist, God made different peoples for a reason. And most of the time, this group just doesn't mesh with that group. And it's not because we're racist, it's because their ways, their customs, the way they view the world. And I can understand in the Old Testament what God told the Jews, do not intermarry. He wanted them to be focused and devoted to God. He didn't want them yanked in all these other directions. And think about America. Think about your place, Australia, New Zealand, anywhere y'all live, Planet G. We're pulled by culture. We're very affected by culture. Right on, Kelly. I hope you have a good afternoon over there. You think Men at Work did it on purpose? Really? I didn't think that, but I could be wrong. Australia loved Men at Work. It seemed to me, from what I read, Australia loved Men at Work. And they loved that they incorporated that into their music. Remember when they first start off, ting, ting, titting, titting. That video is so silly. Guy with a button-up shirt and a tie on is dragging a koala on a rope through the sand. That whole video was crazy. Yeah, and I get that, Colette. Do you really think they did it on purpose? I agree, Tans. And, when I was in that store today, I just said, you know what? God made these people too. God loves those people just as much as He loves any of us. It doesn't mean that we're going to gel. Does not. I find that even here, I've learned the same thing in Augusta that I learned in Hong Kong. When I first went there, I was oohed and awed by it. The Asia Expat Forum online said there are 3 stages you go through when you come from your world into another like that. First is the exhilaration. You see Hong Kong, all the buildings, all the people. It's cool. The second stage is anger. The pushing, the shoving, the cutting in line, the obstinance of the Chinese, and you start getting mad. The third stage is finding yourself in the middle of that culture. And that's the freedom part. And that's what I'm learning to do down here. It's not my culture. It's not my cup of tea. And when you see white people or black or white men, white women trying to act, talk, or be black, I've had discussions with enough blacks and they've looked me in the eye and said, that really turns me off. And black people have told me to my face, just be who you're supposed to be. We can accept that. We hate it when somebody's trying to be us because it doesn't work. And I agree. And black people respect me more for being uniquely myself. I don't walk up and try to talk and act like them. I don't do that. It's totally unnecessary because they're going to get offended. They're going to think you're patronizing them. Stupid. Towns, I wish you were close. I'd call you on the phone, telephone. We don't need to apologize, Oliver, for being uncomfortable with certain aspects of other cultures. That's not racism. That's not racism. We all have our uniqueness. And I've tried to reach cross aisle to Southeast Asia, to Mexicans, to blacks. And I said it. If God allows me to move again, I don't want to live in a place that's predominantly African American. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not racist. I'm glad I've had this experience. It's made me bolder. It's made me take a stronger stand. I'm getting sleepy. So I better go and bed down for the night. Teresa, how are you? Sleepy. I've been around black people, but not in concentrated form like this. I've been out here 7 years now, so I'm well immersed in it. Get those 4 hours of sleep, shaking my head. Colette, you better stop. Why don't you come here and tuck me in? Then I might sleep longer. Maybe I should go visit you and then I'll fall asleep. I wish I was free as the wind. I wish I had enough money that I could just sell, leave, and go visit Colette for a while. When she gets tired of me, she'd kick me out. Then I'll go stay with Tans. And when Tans gets tired of me, she'll kick me out. Then I'll go see Jenny, Jillian, and then she'll kick me out. And we'll just move all around the world doing that. But I wouldn't get people mad at me. I would not. That's not my style. That'd be funny. You sleep good if the dog's in the room. Really? I sleep better in colder weather. I've noticed that. No, I know that, Colette. Don't break my little bubble, doggone you. Pond, thanks for coming in. All right, folks. Have a good and godly evening. Now know how many licks it takes to the bottom of a Tootsie Pop. That's funny. All right, good night, everybody. Deneen, thanks for coming. I hope you'll come back, like and sub if you still feel so inclined, and we will see y'all again. Be safe.